You ever get that feeling that there's just more to reality than what we see with our physical eyes? Well, spiritual teachers like Apostle Michael Orocco talk about exactly that. A different way of perceiving, something they call seeing in the spirit realm. So today we're going to dive in and try to understand what that really means. And this quote from Apostle Orocco really just cuts right to the chase. The idea here is that your perception, what you actually see, has the power to achieve things that all the hard work and muscle in the world never could. It points to a totally different kind of strength. Right, so that's the big question, isn't it? What does it actually mean to see in the spirit? Are we talking about having visions of angels? Is it just a fancy word for intuition? Or, is it something way more practical that changes how we live every single day? Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first. The key idea is that this is not about guesswork. It's not about looking at some messy situation and trying to guess at a spiritual cause. No, this is about a direct kind of knowing, a perception of what's happening on a spiritual level, no matter what your physical eyes are telling you.
This really breaks down the difference, right? Think of it like this. Physical sight is reactive. You see something happen and then you react. But spiritual sight, in this teaching, is proactive. It can perceive a presence or a reality even when nothing is happening, even in a totally quiet room. One needs outside proof, the other, it just knows. It's an inner certainty, even if your eyes are shut. So where do we start with this? Well, according to the speaker, the number one most important thing is learning to see the person of Christ. And that doesn't just mean some big mystical vision. It's about learning to see the divine nature, the good, the value in the people that are right in front of us. And to show how real this is, the speaker shares this super honest story. He meets this really talented app developer, but just based on his looks, the beard, the style, his first thought was a snap judgment. He basically wrote him off as part of a crowd he thought wasn't serious. But then, when he looked past the surface, when he chose to see with spiritual eyes, the reality was the total opposite. He realized, whoa, this guy is a blessing. He's full of passion, he's responsible, he's on fire. It's such a perfect example of how our physical eyes can just get it so wrong. And this leads to a pretty tough question for all of us, right? How many opportunities, how many blessings have we missed because we judge the package instead of seeing the person inside? The whole argument is that we might be pushing away the very people sent to help us, all because of this kind of blindness. Now, this idea of spiritual sight goes way beyond just seeing people. The second big area is what the speaker calls seeing kingdom mysteries. And this isn't about collecting spiritual secrets for fun. It's about understanding the hidden rules that actually run the world, which is directly connected to a person's authority. This verse is really the foundation for that whole idea. It suggests that there's this hidden wisdom out there, and the moment we can see it, the moment it's revealed to us, it becomes ours to build our lives on. So here's the connection. Your glory, which you can think of as your highest potential or spiritual influence, isn't just handed to you. The idea is that it grows in direct proportion to the amount of this hidden truth you've been able to see and actually understand. The more you see, the more you can become. The story of Abraham is a perfect case study. God gives him this huge promise, but it stays just out of reach. It's only when God tells him to lift up your eyes and see the land that things start to happen. It shows that even when a promise is there, our ability to see it is the key that actually unlocks it. What you can see is what you can possess. All right, this leads to our third area of sight, and this is a huge one for anybody trying to figure out their life: seeing your true purpose. We're talking about the specific, unique reason you are here on this planet. And the speaker uses his own life as this incredible example. I mean, look at this. As a kid, he wanted to be a pilot or a soldier. Then in college, he's crushing it in chemistry, on a straight path to become a professor. But then, the spiritual sight reveals something totally different, a calling to be a priest, to shape entire generations. Wow, this quote really just hits you, doesn't it? Can you imagine pouring your entire life into something, being great at it, only to find out it was the wrong assignment all along? It completely reframes our purpose, not as something we choose, but as a mission we're given, with massive stakes. And this brings up a really crucial point. We talk about passion all the time, right? But the warning here is that passion isn't enough. If you're running down the wrong highway, all that passion and speed just gets you to the wrong place faster.
Seeing your true path is what makes sure all that energy actually counts for something. And finally, the fourth kind of sight we're talking about is seeing your spiritual defense. This is all about understanding the systems and realities God has already put in place to protect you in what can be a really challenging and hostile world.
So what problem does this solve? Vulnerability. The speaker says that when people can't see their own spiritual security, they become easy targets. They get bounced around from one weird teaching to another, like spiritual lab rats, because they just don't know the truth of where they stand. Now, you have to pay attention to the grammar here, because it's everything. Citing the book of Colossians, the speaker makes it clear that your spiritual defense isn't something you're fighting for, it's a reality you already have. Look at the past tense. You have been delivered. You have been translated. Seeing that as a finished fact changes everything. It moves you from a place of struggle to a place of strength. And this right here is the incredible result of that shift in sight. When you finally see that your deliverance is a done deal, you stop acting like a victim who's waiting to be rescued. Your entire identity shifts. You're no longer the one who needs to be delivered. You become the one who brings deliverance. So, when you pull it all together, seeing people, seeing mysteries, seeing your purpose, and seeing your defense, it all comes back to this one central idea. What you see is what you become. Your perception isn't just a passive thing. According to this teaching, it is actively creating your reality. And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. If it's true, if sight really is the key that unlocks transformation, then maybe the most important question we can ask ourselves isn't what am I doing, but what am I seeing? What reality are you choosing to focus on today? And how is that choice shaping the person you're becoming?